Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna be reacting to.
Let's talk about idol face blindness. Racism?
As someone commented saying, I need your thoughts on this. I've only been into K-pop for a few
Yes.
months and I still have a hard time telling some groups or members apart. It's not that I think they all look the same or anything like that. I just genuinely struggle to differentiate them because of the similar makeup and hair. Do you think that's normal for new fans who aren't used to Asian media yet? Or does it still come off the wrong way when people admit that? And it got me thinking, this is one of those topics where people love to pretend it's simple when it's actually three things smashed together. How your brain works, how the K-pop machine is designed, and how racism has poisoned the way we talk about Asian faces. So let's just say it straight. Yes, it is completely normal as a new fan to struggle telling idols apart. No, that does not automatically mean you're racist. But the way you phrase it and whether you stay stuck there or actually grow. That's where it gets messy, when you come into K-pop, Korean or Asian media for the first time and you're like, I literally cannot tell these 7 girls apart. You're hitting something real. Your brain is a pattern recognition machine, not a moral compass. It's used to whatever faces you grew up around, and it gets good at noticing micro differences in that pool. Knows
I think it's different between telling them apart and putting a name to a face too.
Because some people bad at names.
Because like the first group whose names I learned, I was the Stray Kids. But
I thought it was Blackpink.
I think Blackpink was second. But I would struggle to put the names to the faces, like especially Ian and Lino. I couldn't. It would be hard for who's who. But doesn't mean they look apart. I just couldn't remember who's who.
Yeah.
Like, and even now, like I don't know a lot of idols' names. It's just a lot of fucking names to remember. And this is not even like K-pop thing. Like when we react to like Latin American music, like or like Albanian music too. Like we reacted to a lot of music from Albania. Shit, I still can't tell you who's who.
And the thing is, sometimes you are reacting to their competitors, so their
Right.
style is quite similar
Yeah.
because, everyone can't have like pink hair and, you distinguish who's who.
Yeah, it's just like for us, just like reacting and not like diving deep into the group or like into anybody. It's just fucking hard for me to remember who's who. Like Albania, Greece too. There's some artists in Greece, and we react a lot of Greek music too. Like it's hard to. It just takes a minute to like put a name to the face, especially like in the volumes that we do.
It helps when you do like the vlogs, so you see them like on a personal level.
Yeah, I don't even know what. I think it's just repetition, seeing. Okay, eventually you put the name to the face. I think it's just that's what it is.
And also how much trouble they get in. Because then I'm seeing you, the troublemaker, you always remember the troublemaker's name.
I think it's easy because then they get solo. I think when you start seeing people solo,
Yeah.
that's why like I feel like Felix and Hyunjin were the first to remember from Stray Kids because they're like the biggest. There's a lot of solo stuff for them. So okay, I would put them first.
angle, eye shape, mouth width, bone structure, tiny asymmetries. When you suddenly get dropped into a new face set you haven't been exposed to much, your brain is like, new pack just dropped. I don't have the filters for this yet. That's why at first a lot of non-Asian people feel like K-pop idols blur together, and a lot of Asians say the same thing in reverse. All white actors in Hollywood looked the same to me at first. All American dude influencers are just beard plus haircut plus hoodie copy pasted. It's the same phenomenon. The difference is that one side has a whole violent stereotype attached to it and the other doesn't. Now combine that with K-pop styling and the problem gets dialed up. The industry does not go out of its way to make idols visually distinct at first glance. Companies love uniformity because it looks cohesive. Same hair color for most of the group, same blush placement, same soft contacts, same lip tint, same contouring, same nose highlight, same outfit color palette. Add the heavy skin smoothing, filters and lighting that erase every pore and line and you've basically got a perfectly
Like,
blended.
For example, I know only one young name from IVE. Like I can distinguish the other girls. I know one of the girls is Liz. I don't know who that is. I just know the name. I know who the leader is. I know what she looks like. I can point you out. I don't remember her name. Like it's just, I, it's you can distinguish the people. It's just like remembering everyone's names. Like so many groups, so many names to remember. It's like you really have to be into it.
Group image with individuals trapped inside it, to a new fan, especially someone not used to East Asian facial features, that reads as, this is one big pretty blur, help, and that's not you hallucinating, that's literally the product. Idols are styled like a collection, not like 9 girls with completely different aesthetics. A rookie boy group debut will have 6 dudes in dark hair, parted similarly, all wearing variations of the same jacket, 3 4th gen girl groups will roll out with the same straight black hair with bangs, and you're supposed to just instantly know who's who. Even Koreans and longtime Asian fans admit that when a new group debuts, it takes time before the faces separate in your head. So if you as a new fan are struggling, that's not some moral failing, that's the system plus your lack of familiarity. But here's where it gets deeper. Beauty standards and idol selection make all of this worse. Idols are not a random sample of how Korean people look. The companies cherry-pick trainees who already fit a narrow standard: small face, big eyes, fair skin, slim nose, defined jawline, slim body, certain height range, certain proportions. Then they throw diets, makeup, styling, and sometimes plastic surgery on top to push them closer to the ideal idol face. That's why people talk about idol face like it's a preset. There's a real convergence happening. It's not that Asians inherently look the same. It's that the industry funnels everyone toward the same aesthetic and spits out polished clones with slightly different settings. So from the outside, especially if you're new to Asian media, you're seeing a brain that isn't trained on those features yet. A beauty system that erases difference and multiplies the same look, plus filters and editing flattening everything further. Of course you're confused at first. Of course you mix people up. That is not you secretly thinking Asians are all identical. That's you being thrown into a very homogeneous visual environment and your brain going, give me a minute. Now all of that said, there is a line where it stops being I'm honestly struggling and learning and starts being racist. And that line is mostly about how you talk about it and who you blame. Saying I'm new to K-pop, I still mix some members up because the styling is similar and my eyes aren't used to it yet. But I'm getting better the more I watch is not the same as LMAO. All K-pop idols look the same. One is self-aware and puts the issue on your unfamiliarity plus the industry's homogenizing styling. The other is a lazy dehumanizing stereotype that's been used for generations to flatten Asian people into interchangeable NPCs. They all look the same has history. It wasn't just a random comment. It was weaponized as a way to say you're not individuals to us, you're just a generic Asian blur. That's why people react so strongly when they hear it. It's not about your brain glitch in
That's
2025.
understandable, yeah.
It's about everything that phrase has meant in classrooms, workplaces, jokes and violence for decades. And this is where but Asians say white people all look the same too gets thrown around. Yes, they do. And yes, it's the same cognitive effect in reverse. An East Asian person watching their first Marvel movie might genuinely struggle to separate 5 white brunette men in suits. But the power dynamics and historical baggage are not symmetrical. There isn't a global history of all white people look the same being used to justify colonizing, excluding, mocking, or erasing Westerners as a group. So even if the brain mechanism is the same, the weight of the words isn't. You still have to be careful which phrases you repeat in a culture where Asians all look the same. Has been racist shorthand forever. Another layer is, idols are already treated like objects, not people. They're brand faces, ad dolls, fandom trophies, algorithmic content machines. When someone from outside walks in and goes, I can't tell them apart. They're all copies. It doesn't land on neutral ground. It lands on top of an existing system that already strips
come
those
she's
people of
doing this
individuality.
video?
Stans who've watched these idols for
Because
Like
somebody left
FA?
a comment. It's like, when she used to be reacting to my subscribers, K-pop. I guess she just took one comment, did the whole video about one comment because it was like required a long video.
years don't just see a face. They see the personality, the voice, the mannerisms, the awkward laugh, the way they stand, how they speak. So when someone reduces all of that to clone number 1, clone number 2, they feel like you're erasing the person they've gotten to know. That's why the reaction is so emotional sometimes. Even when your original intent was innocent, the key difference is this. Are you using your confusion as a starting point to learn? Or as an excuse to flatten people? If you're like, hey, I'm new, I mix them up. I know it's my limit and the styling doesn't help, but I'm trying, you're fine. You're acknowledging you're the one catching up and you're not blaming their ethnicity. If you plant your flag and they all look the
Also, to be fair, I think the whole point of having a group is to make them nobody stand out too. I think there's something to that because when somebody stands out of the group, that's when the group breaks up because that one person is a standout. But if
You
like
think so?
I think so because look in the West, all the groups broke up because there was a standout. But like if all the members in the group that nobody stands out, then they're gonna stay as a group essentially for the length of their career because there not gonna be no standouts. It's gonna
So
just
what's
gonna be a
the
group.
point of the visual per se? What do they
I don't
bring to the table as a visual? If we're all supposed to look the same.
I don't know. I don't get that point as a visual. I really don't understand why groups have visuals. To me, like it's about they should cut the visual and put a vocalist in there.
Because to me, how I think it's like they have like a like the home run visual, like the person who looks the best to get like brand deals, so they get
I
cuts of
guess.
that. Mm.
Yeah, but because if somebody's a standout, or somebody's gonna be a star, the group eventually bound to break up because that person gonna go solo. Person is gonna become bigger than the group. But when everybody's like, not that everybody's equal, but when nobody stands out, then you don't have the opportunity to go solo because you become the group lasts forever, which I think in some cases the labels might want that the group lasts forever.
same. I said what I said, then yeah, you're feeding into racism whether you meant to or not. So how do you talk about it without sounding like trash? You keep the focus on your
I
own
do feel like there's
unfamiliarity.
like,
The very
you know, even in with like if in every like a label, they find out what's your archetype, and they
What do you
put
mean?
like, okay,
What?
if there's a boy group, we need the shy one, the cool one, the edgy one, the leader type, and they have to like fit in those molds. And so everyone is looking for the
But
archetype,
don't you think
creating
that's
their
just
perfect.
natural? When you take a group of like 8 people, there's bound to be one shy one energetic one. And I
Yeah,
think
yeah, but that's the point. But you're not gonna have two, like you're not gonna have like the same vibe
I
twice.
think that's the thing about Cat's Eye. There's like two of the same vibes, like Sophia and Lara. They're both very extroverted. It's kind of,
But it's
50-50
different because
season.
it's like
It's very same vibe.
it's like but in different font. Like they have like it's a multinational group.
No, I understand it, but I'm just saying personality-wise, they're quite the same.
I think they get away with that because of a
But
multinational group.
I just think naturally, I don't think they necessarily try to fit the personality mold. I think it just happens that one
No,
is the
but
shy
the
one.
no, what the look of that personality is. Like they go take on that
Oh,
look.
you're saying they basically become a personality?
Yeah.
I don't know. You could make
Mm.
an argument. Like in Stray Kids Han, there was like the he became randomly a shy guy, and then all of this, and he said, "Oh, that's always been shy." So I guess they have tried to mold him into not shy person, then, right?
Mhm.
But that would make sense that he was
Mhm.
molded into to be someone who's he's not, and when the group accomplished, he went back to who he actually is.
Yeah, I just think like for every group, like every group outside of K-pop that you see on social media, in media, they play for that dynamic to work. Everyone has to play their character in the sense that they're putting on a
Yeah.
show and everyone has a part in that
Yes.
show.
Yeah. Everyone
So,
has a role.
yeah, yeah. So for that being said, knowing that everyone does this is going to be natural to say, "Oh, this person is like the Sabrina of the group, or this person is like the Kaisenat of the group." Like we can point to those things and identify because we all kind of have like a preset essentially. So it's difficult when you see like in
I
like
mean,
a
we
lot
do
of
that. Like
music groups.
whenever we see someone with like a deeper voice, say, "Oh, that's the Felix of the
Yeah,
group."
that's the
Yeah,
Felix
we do
of the
that. Yeah.
group. So that's the thing. So when that knowledge being known, it's and we're seeing a high volume of groups because we don't see that many volume of groups over here in the West. So when you see high volume of groups and they're like fighting with these kind of personalities, who's the better Felix? Who's the better like the prototype? It's not that it gets blurred, but it's a lot at once. But you can get to know everyone if you were to focus, like let's say I'm a fan of like Cat's Eye, so I dedicate all my money to this one group. I'm not typically gonna take time to invest in 5 or 10
Right. Yeah.
groups
Yeah. 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 I
all
get
at
what you're saying.
once. So I'm gonna put all
Yeah.
my effort. Of course I'm gonna know them very
Right.
well and know their details sooner than taking on like 10 groups
Yeah.
and having to understand each of them on
Right.
their own.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if you're going to learn, like if you start liking one group and you're just gonna learn that
Yeah,
one, that's easy.
it's
I don't.
easy.
I think it's easy.
It's
I think the
easy.
challenge for us is because there's like 20 groups at once coming at you,
And especially
and it's
when
like
the West is being
it's
exposed to the K-pop world, because K-pop is coming up a lot. Like you see now, we have Billboard Korean charts. We have like award shows that are acknowledging K-pop artists, and in media spaces, we're seeing more K-pop involved.
yeah.
I think that that's all at once. It's a lot because they already have the system going. It's happening. And so, as an outsider learning it all on first take, it can be quite difficult and kind of like, like a big challenge because it's a lot of information to consume at once. And you want to be the first to capture the K pop audience because they have such a strong backing and support when you're invested into their environment, their ecosystem.
real standardization of visuals in K-pop and the way editing, filters, and casting narrow the range of faces we see. Instead of Asians look the same to me, you say. When I first got into K-pop, I really struggled to tell members apart because my brain wasn't used to those features and the styling is super similar. But the more I watched, the more individual they became. That's honest, respectful, and true. You're not pretending you never had that experience. You're just not turning it into a lazy generalization about a whole race. And let's be clear, This will change with time whether you try or not. You spend enough hours watching lives, MVs, fan cams, variety shows, and suddenly your brain flips. You'll clock someone from the back of their head or recognize them in a half-second frame. You'll start noticing nose shape,
You
lip
start
size,
noticing
brow
them
movement,
from the
micro
back.
expressions, even posture. The same way someone into Western media can immediately tell 20 white actresses
like,
apart while someone
you
new
know,
is still
when-
like,
Like a mother gives like birth to twins, she's not gonna know the twins from the jump. It's gonna take time and practice getting to know a little bit more to see, okay, this one is this one is that one. Because when you go and they say what they do in hospitals, they put paint on one foot and paint on another foot for the other child, so you can at least try to get to know your baby.
is that the same woman from that other show? Exposure matters, familiarity matters, brains adapt. So to answer the original question directly, yes, it's normal as a new fan to struggle to differentiate idols, especially in an industry built on uniform styling and narrow beauty standards. No, admitting that does not automatically make you a bad person. What does cross the line is acting like your initial confusion is proof that Asians are all the same, or repeating that stereotype like it's deep instead of acknowledging it's your perspective that needs time and practice. The respectful grown approach is, I'm new, I struggled, I see why that phrase is harmful,
hear
and I'm
this a
learning to see them
lot,
as individuals, not
particularly like for example on social media, there can be two Asians in an event, and a person is referring to one of the Asian person and confuse it for the other person, but there's only two. So it's like, how come you can't get to know the two? It's only two. So I can understand the frustration, especially in real life predicaments when it's you're typically the minority in your environment and not the majority, like here in the K-pop space, because even in the minority sense, you still get those like microaggressions where people confuse you for this person and there's only two of you in that space. That's very, very insulting.
I think also what doesn't help, like in K-pop, especially in guys' groups, it's like everybody has the same hairstyle. For
Because that's
fuck's
what's
sake.
popular.
No, but I understand. But like here in the West, we have
Here-
different people. Like the
What do you
hair,
mean?
like people.
What do you mean? Those teenage boys, they all have that little mop going on.
What?
The little curly they shave the sides and they leave the top, like it's called the James Charles.
Okay, I don't know, but like like regularly the people have there's so much variety in haircuts, and that really helps distinguish.
I don't know.
In K-pop, I see.
think so.
I don't see everybody has that little
No.
bangs. Like every guy
No,
group has the
Lucas,
same
because that's
bang.
what's popular. No.
What
I
do you
think
mean no?
because
How
I
many
feel
people
like
do not have the same hairstyle? Guys.
they all have the same
Like
hairstyles.
of course, if they go bald, okay, they bald guys, fine. Like that's that. That's not that's something you can change. But like if you have hair, there's so many different hairstyles. But in K-pop, it's always one.
You can't
That's why
name-
it was such a huge deal that Hyunjin cut his hair. Because wow, it's not your regular bowl cut.
No, because
Why?
we're used to seeing him with hair.
No, because he's like the first idol to actually have a buzz cut. Everybody has bowl cut.
No, when they go to the military, they all get to go to
Yes, to the military, yes, but in
But
terms
it's
of
not the first
performing,
time.
no, I'm saying performing with the buzz cut. Like,
I disagree with this point.
so show me another idol that has a different hair. And I'm not talking different hair curl. Those do happen, but like a
What do you
different
mean,
style.
different style.
Yeah,
Like for example, we
not
have
a bowl cut.
We have Martin with the
Yes.
spikes.
Very unique and stands out. Immediately recognize him. Immediately learn the name.
We have the wolf cut. I don't know if
What
you
the
know
fuck is the wolf cut?
It's like you have the ends. It's like little wispy, and then it has like the front. I've seen that.
That's
As
just
well.
regular bowl cut to me.
It's not a bowl cut.
Okay, maybe when you talk about hairstyles,
I
you
noticed
know-
that. I noticed.
To me,
Look,
they
it's
all
'cause
look the
I'm-
same.
it's
And
for
it's
you.
not even about the
You have
face,
hair.
it's about
You
the
have
hair.
hair. You have hair blindness. Then.
I do have hair blinds. I don't. To me,
For me, when it comes to like hair, fashion,
I guess
know
because for
this.
me, like honestly, the biggest thing is not even their faces, their haircuts. Everybody has the same fucking haircut. Like it's
They do
ridiculous.
not.
They do.
templates. That's it. That's the difference between being honest and being lazy. I asked you all on my community tab about this topic, and a lot of you agreed with what I
Sayan.
said, so I figured it'd be fun to hear some of your
And
opinions.
exactly. Every time somebody does like hair like that, it's like,
No, but this,
ooh,
no,
it's a big deal.
no,
Makes the news.
no. The reason is for her. She's first is a lady.
But it's a big deal. Wow. Different
No,
hair.
always when a
Everybody
lady,
has the same-
always a
Look at
big
these
deal.
Three hairs. Oh, even the girls, all three have the same hairstyle.
They do not.
Yeah, they do.
No, I could
And
tell
they-
you which one's my favorite
They're
immediately.
all the same hairstyles.
No, they're not.
Whatever.
So let's read a few. As an Asian, even I can barely tell the difference between some idols. But if they make a joke and say all Asians look the same or something, Imma whoop their butt. I think there's two separate conversations to be had here. One, it can be difficult for
Like
anybody
you
to
see
learn new names
everyone
and
right now
faces.
with the pinky hair. You know who did it best? Parita. Parita got the best pink hair right now in the market.
Okay, the pink hair is the hair color that does happen and usually hair color does help to distinguish the idols. Yes, but I'm just saying the style. Even like if they do color, it's still the same hairstyle. Like that hairstyle is like Trunks from Dragon Ball Z. It's like a little bang. Like everybody has the same one. Like
Let alone combining the two, add on top of that makeup, styling, lighting, photo editing, camera angles. I think it's reasonable for any new fan to take a minute to be able to differentiate between identities, whether it's fictional characters in a show, reality TV contestants, or K-pop idols. When I start a new season of Drag Race, it takes me a good episode or two before I can match queens with their names, personalities, and out of drag personas. I think some
Yeah, that's
K-pop fans
true.
like to gatekeep and play superior, without allowing for an adjustment period or learning curve. Second, separately, the racist trope of all Asians look alike exists outside of K-pop, and should be critiqued, condemned and challenged no matter where it comes up. But I suppose if one wants to combine those two separate truths, one must be capable of nuance and judging how K-pop stan trends tend to go. That's probably too much to ask. It's not automatically racist, because sometimes people genuinely mistake one idol for another, especially if they're not familiar with many groups. Also, being Asian doesn't exempt anyone from thinking some idols look alike or from mixing them up. Like me, it really depends on whether the intent is malicious. Some people truly can't tell certain individuals apart at first, even within the same race. Making harsh judgments toward non-Asian people for that is wrong too. I think it is normal because some people aren't used to the features. Entertainment companies also tend to use very similar makeup and skin whitening techniques on the idols. To be honest, I even struggle to tell American groups apart. For me,
I feel
as an
like when
Asian
it's the
American,
same,
I grew up
when it's the same race, it's most likely I don't know your name. Like, because she explained that, okay, within the same race, you can still have the same issue
yeah.
of not recognizing and telling apart people. But I think it's more as you don't know that person's name. Because I think if you're within, because what I would assume is the logic is that you grew up seeing at least features that are similar to yours, based on your background. And so you should be able to distinguish within, like, for example, you will be able to identify a Lithuanian before I did, until knowing you and getting to know Lithuanian features, so I can identify, this person can be Lithuanian, because I understand because of my proximity to you.
Lithuanian, that's like very specific.
But you get what
I
I'm
would be able to
saying.
tell Eastern European, yes.
But Lithuanian, you can say, okay, but you'll
No,
be more likely.
but I don't know if that person
Bloop.
Russian,
No, because
Polish.
you show
I
you
can
show
tell
me
you
the
Eastern
faces,
European.
and I was able to find, okay, which one from the faces based on the general stereotype of what that face looks like in that country, which is the Lithuanian. Because y'all got a specific head shape,
Everybody has the same head shape.
but it's very specific.
Goodness.
But that's because I'm with you. I would not have been able
I
to
don't,
do that
honestly, I have no
outside
idea
of
what you're
you.
talking about because I wouldn't
No,
be able to
because
tell you a Lithuanian. I can, as I said, I can tell you Eastern European, yes, for sure.
okay, so let's take
But
it broader.
Lithuanian, that's
No, but
specific. I
no,
can't tell
okay,
you when
okay.
the
So the
person's
whole
Latvian. I don't
the whole
fucking know.
point is your proximity to understanding what an Eastern European face looks like.
Right, I can
You'll
tell
be
Eastern
able to
European.
tell. But like a person, so a person within their own should be able to tell within their own
Shit, I can tell you
what
what
they
a
look
Haitian
like.
looks like too.
Yeah, exactly. Because your proximity
Easy.
to me, and after getting to know me, being around my family, you should be
I
able
I
to.
can recognize the
So,
Haitian from a
for
mile away.
me, I think it's even better. That's why, you know what this conversation needs to be is we need to have like friends from all around the world, because when I'm around my friends, I start to see and identify their features. I can understand. Okay, knowing my friend, I can be able to distinguish who else looks like, reminds me of my friend. I see their features in someone else. They can be almost similar to my friend. They can be where they're from, you know?
not seeing many Asians in any media, neither US media or media from other countries. Once I got into K-pop, it took me a minute to get used to seeing more Asian faces and seeing a variety of them. So I definitely had trouble telling members apart at first. Growing up in the US, there's more diversity in people, although still less POC represented, so seeing people who generally have more similar features, along with the homogenized and strict Korean and East Asian beauty standards, it definitely was a challenge to get acquainted with each member of a group. Also, members often change appearance each comeback, along with having drastically different camera angles for promotional shots and social media stuff. It's hard in general to get a well-rounded sense for what someone looks like just through Google, social media, other media, without seeing them in person. And that's all for today. See you next video.
Let Canva handle.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Of course, let us know your thoughts. Forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.